Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna speak a little bit about the current energies and then I'm gonna pull some cards as well. So what I'm feeling right now is that I think for a lot of you guys watching, you have maybe experienced the period, longer period, so years, where it's almost like you went back to the root, or you had to go back to the root. You had to step down somehow from your old life. And I'm just going to say that what it comes through very strongly is that this has protected you, and this will continue to protect you. This is also not going to last forever, is what I'm feeling. I'm actually hearing for a lot of you. So I don't know exactly what that means, but let's get into it because it's a little bit complex, this. I feel like for a lot of you that have stepped down, you're in a period of time where you're really learning how to build your energy. You're learning how to layer your energy. So let's talk a little bit about how it feels to go back to the root. When we go back to the root, it's almost like we go back in time. It's like our consciousness starts to be engulfed by the energy of the people that came before, past lives. And it's specifically the shadow of these past lives that is going to come up at this point in time. And that has a lot to do with the era that we're in collectively, that we're in this end game period where we're kind of shifting matrices. And so when that happens, it's almost as if either we're gonna be able to kind of transmute the shadow and turn it into new growth. It's like taking the shit of the past and like spreading it on the field so that new seeds can grow, or we're just gonna drown in the shit basically, or it's like we're not gonna be able to make light of the shadow, we're not gonna be able to make sense of the shadow. They are just gonna pull us down. They are gonna take us over, and it's like we're gonna go back in time. So that's kind of the energy of the era that we're in right now. And so I feel for a lot of you that are watching this video, you have probably already started to experience this darker energy of the root, and you're probably in the process of figuring out how you can make light of it, how you can make sense of it and turn it into something that can help you grow. I feel like that is going to start to get easier for you. I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to start to feel more present. You're going to start to actually connect more to your gifts now. And the reason that this is happening is that it feels like there is another group of people that is starting now to fall back into the root. And these are people that they may have mocked you for going back to your root, or for stepping down, or they didn't understand it. They would look down upon you if you would go down into the root. These are the types of people now that are gonna start to feel more and more engulfed by that energy of the shadow of the earth. And so when that happens, it's almost as if, I don't know, what I'm seeing is just like these energies of the earth, these shadow creatures, I'm seeing them now as energies, and they are just like hungry. They're thirsty for blood, or like meat, you know, they want life. And so it's like when a bunch of new life comes in, this group of new people comes in, they're just like, they get so excited, and so a bunch of them will run over there. And so there's gonna be less pressure the people that have already been in the root for some time. And when that pressure gets taken off, suddenly it's gonna just feel so much easier for the people that are already used to dealing with this very unforgiving shadow of the dark earth. So in some sense, I guess that's good news for some of you. For other people, this is not going to be pleasant at first. But again, it is part of this process that we're going through as a collective. And so I don't really see that there's any way of avoiding it. It feels like this is bound to happen. It's not anything that we humans can do to change it. That's how it feels like. So let's pull some cards as well. Let's use the Shaman Oracle to see if there are any more messages for us today. Okay, bunch of cards coming out. Wow, water and fire underneath the deck. So maybe working with the elements. Let's see, or balancing the elements, I'm hearing. Yeah, and the cards came out in reverse, or I picked them up in reverse. Moon card in reverse. The medicine wheel in reverse. The holy mountain in reverse. And the drum in reverse. So what is this? I'm hearing, actually, for a bunch of the people that are watching, it's like you have one foot in each camp. So it's almost like a part of you has gone back to the root already. But then there is also another part of you that stayed connected to the group that is now starting to fall into the root. And so I feel like in the past period, it's almost like you've constantly been judging yourself for being in the root. And that also made your burden even more like hard to carry, because it's like you weren't really understanding the value of the work that you were doing as part of like being engulfed by this energy of the root. But now that a lot more people are gonna start to fall with you, I feel like it's just gonna feel much easier. Also though, I'm feeling like be careful when this happens, be careful of like kind of letting your codependency run free is what I'm feeling for some of you, because I'm just seeing it's almost as if you may be influenced by these dark and frenzied energies that I spoke about, that are just like new fresh meat, you know, they get so excited, fresh meat, finally I will get some attention, you know, it's almost like that type of energy. And so I see that for some of you, it may be a trap that you start to want to help the newly fallen people, that you're just like taking on this energy that is actually a past life energy. It's a darker energy. It's not the energy of your higher self, but it's like a past life energy, just like getting so excited because finally now you can get some recognition again. You know what I mean? That's what I'm seeing for some of you, that may a little bit may be a trap that you may be facing. Oh, yeah, I'm hearing the raven now, actually. That's interesting. So you may want to call in your raven, spirit animal, here with the medicine wheel. Came out in reverse, but I think like you may want to start to work with the raven. Yeah, instead of the crow, if you heard that. You may want to start to work with the raven instead of the crow for some of you. That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you don't really know yours. Like, it would definitely benefit you also, I think, to just sit and observe yourself more, the different forces within yourself, because I feel like you don't know yourself that well for some of you. You may know like your inner narrative, like the words that come through, you may label yourself things and know yourself through your story, but I feel like for some of you, you don't know your emotional body at all. You don't know actually the energies that build you up. Again, underneath the deck was like balancing out, you know, fire and water. And I feel like fire, it's the story, you know, it's like we gather around the fire and tell each other stories. That's something that we've done for like centuries. You know, it's in our DNA to do that, to listen, to dance with the fire, to listen to the fire, the narrative, the movie, you know, the movie within. We've always been used to doing that. So that's one part. But then it's actually being able to kind of like understand where your water is coming from. Like, what sources are you drinking from? Do you know? That's what I'm feeling for some of you, that you may want to start to focus more on the water realm, working more with the water element. Yeah, let's pull one tarot card as well from the Rider-Waite and see if we can get anything else here. Anything else? Oh yeah. Ace of Swords, building your sword. Oof, my goodness, and the moon underneath the deck. So the moon is super important right now. Your subconscious, your emotional body. That's what it is. Like building your sword. And think about also, how do you create the sword? You know, it is by using fire and water. First you heat up the metal, bang it, and then you put it in ice cold water, and you do that over and over and over again. And so that's something that some of you may be going through this now, this process of first getting really excited by your inner fire. And this fire makes you really hot. It lifts you up, you get high, you know, you feel it, and then you plummet down into the ice cold water. If you're feeling this up and down, up and down, up and down, know that it's part of building your sword. And so instead of just trying to get away from this process, I feel that some of you would definitely benefit from actually staying with this process more and understanding it more. It's not an illness. Like this is you building your mastery. Actually, it's not a depression. This is not by being bipolar. This is you building your mastery, is what I'm getting. And it is what's gonna allow you to choose your timeline in a much better way, to kind of choose more carefully what sources you're gonna be drinking from. And as a result, if you can choose what sources you're gonna be drinking from, it's almost like you're also gonna choose the story that you're gonna be living. You know, it's like new life always emerge from water. So it's like the sources, that's closer to the origin, that's closer to the baseline than the story. Hence, the emotion is more important actually than the story. You know, it's not true that you can just speak some words and then everything around you orchestrates those words to become real. Yeah, that's the case if you have a bunch of servants around you, people that are not connected to their higher self, people that don't have a purpose on their own. But it's like, that's part of the era that we're moving out of. And so it's like we're moving into time where we need to learn to manifest from a deeper state, you know, through emotion. That's what I'm feeling here. So I'm just gonna end this reading here. I hope it was interesting. Thank you for watching. Bye.